Hi friends. In the 2 days I was out, I understand that Ms. Pickett and a few of the other third grade teachers taught you how to express whole numbers as fractions. So for most of you, this should be review. Please pay attention closely to this video. I'm going to be quizzing you periodically to make sure that you fully understand this topic. So let's take a look back. This is review again. So we know that a numerator is parts being described right here. And we know that a denominator is the number of equal parts in a whole. So if we ever took a look at a fraction like 3/4, okay, and we had one whole brownie and it was split into 4 equal parts, 2 parts, now 4 parts, that is my denominator, 4, the number of equal parts in one whole, 1, 2, 3, 4. But then my numerator tells me something different. That's the parts being described. 3 out of those 4 total parts. So let's shade in 3. 1, 2, 3. So now the same idea can take place with whole numbers. Now this eraser is not excellent, but we'll make it work. Okay, the same thing can apply for whole numbers. So let's take a look. Let's say I baked 1 tray of brownies. Okay. I'm going to erase this fraction as well. I bake 1 tray of brownies, and I split it into no parts. It's just here. Oops, that's the eraser. Let's undo that. It's split into 1 part. This is 1 part. This is it. 1 part and 1 whole. So now I'm going to, the greedy guts that I am, eat the entire brownie, the whole brownie. So how many parts am I eating? 1. So we could say that the fraction 1 over 1 is equivalent to 1 whole. Let's take a look at a different example. So let's say instead of baking 1 brownie, I baked 3 pans of brownies. 1, 2, 3. And because, again, I'm greedy, I split them into nothing. No parts. I'm sharing with nobody. So let's take a look at 1 whole. 1 whole. I'm going to circle 1 whole. 1 whole pan. Keep in mind that this is not 1 whole. Nope, not. This is 1 whole. Okay, so how many parts is 1 whole split into? It's split into 1 part. That's it, just 1. And let's say I eat, greedy me eats 1, 2, 3 parts. So if I eat all 3 trays of the brownies, what should my numerator be? Good, it's 3. So we can say that 3 over 1 is equivalent to 3 wholes. All right, let's take a look at one more example. This time it's your turn. Okay. So instead of brownies, I'm going to do pies. Okay, so let's say I baked 4 pies. 1, 2, 3, 4. They were apple. I do not like cherry pies. Pretend that all of these pies are the same size. I'm not very good at drawing. Okay. So let's say that each of these represents 1 whole. This is 1 whole. This is 1 whole. This is 1 whole. This is 1 whole. Alright, so let's say I eat all of them. All of them. Please type in a fraction that would represent these 4 pies. What fraction would represent 4 whole pies? Fraction for 4 whole pies. Please type that in. Pause the video if you need to. Alright, so let's go over it. Let's see if you were right. So we know that we have 4 pies. This represents 1 whole. How many pieces is that 1 whole split into? That's right. It's split into 1 piece. That's it. And how many of those 1 pies did we eat? 1, 2, 3, 4. We ate 4 of those whole pies. So 4 over 1 is equivalent to 4 wholes. Alright. Alright, so let's phrase this question a little bit differently. Alright, so what is a whole number that can represent this fraction? Okay, let's see, this fraction, 5 over 1, okay? So I know that my denominator, and I'm going to highlight the denominator a different color, my denominator is how many parts a whole is split into. So I'm going to draw one whole. And I know it's split into one part. 1, that's it, 1. It's not split into anything. And I know my numerator, I'm going to do this in a different color, my numerator is how many parts we're talking about. So I have, this is one part, let's draw the rest. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 1, 2 holes, 3 holes, 4 holes, 5 holes. Oh my goodness. So 5 over 1, conversely, is equivalent to 5 holes. I wonder if this works with everything. Let's take one more problem. This time you're going to do it. What is, so let's have some problems. What is the whole number that represents this fraction? Where the box pops up, go ahead and type in that answer. Okay? All right, for number 2, what's the whole number that represents this fraction? Okay. And this one's different. Please write the fraction that is represented by this drawing. 1 hole, 2 holes, 3 holes. So you have 3 review problems. I can't wait to go over your work. Nice job.